Hello everyone. In this Power Automate tutorial, we will learn how to read Excel data as plain text and then process that text in a loop. We will end up with rows of data represented as individual plain text strings, which we can use dynamically in a variety of ways. We will use a pair of Cloudmersive document conversion connector actions to accomplish this. We will start by creating a simple instant cloud flow. This will give us full control over our data when we run our tests later on. We will begin by using a getFileContent action to retrieve Excel file bytes. In this example, I'll be using a simple spreadsheet called Annual Expenses, which shows total spending for each year between 2014 and 2023. Our goal in this flow is to pull expense data only for one specific year and share that data with some flow stakeholder via Teams messaging. The first thing we'll do is convert our spreadsheet to text. We'll find Cloudmersive connectors in the Power Automate connector library, and we'll then locate the document conversion connector with the green logo. We'll click See More to view the actions list, and from there, we'll search for an action called Convert Excel XLSX Spreadsheet to Text. We will select this action, and we'll then create our document conversion connection. My connection is already saved, so we can't see this part on my screen, but we can easily create our own saved connection for free with a free Cloudmersive API key. To get one, we can create a free account on the Cloudmersive website and paste our API key string in the API key authentication field. We can then name our connection anything we want, and we're all set. To configure our request, we'll simply pass Excel file bytes down from our getFileContent action. We'll then give our file any name we want, since this second parameter doesn't need the real file name. In our next action, we'll head back to the document conversion connector actions list, and this time, we'll find an action called Split a single text file into lines. We can open this action directly to the Request Parameters window since we already created and saved our document conversion connection. To configure our request, we'll open up the Functions window in the Input File Parameter, and we'll find and select the Trim function. We'll then place the body text result value from our text conversion action within this Trim function. When we deal with text from a file conversion operation like this, it's usually best to eliminate leading and trailing whitespace to avoid unnecessary clutter in downstream flow actions. At this point, we've converted our Excel file to text and split the resulting text content into a series of separate lines. We want to loop through each line of text to check our data for a specific data point, and that means we'll need an apply to each action in our flow. After we find and select the Apply to Each action, we'll enter the body result lines value from our split lines action in the Select Output field. Now, within our Apply to Each control, we'll incorporate the Compose action from the Data Operation connector. The Compose action saves data for use later in our flow, but in this case, it also cleans up our text content just a bit, normalizing the spacing between each data point with just one single space. We'll ask the Compose action to consume the line contents value from our split text action. Right after we compose our text, we'll now add in a condition. In our condition, we'll set our first value to capture the outputs from our Compose action, and we'll check for outputs that contain a specific string. In this example, we'll enter the year 2022, and we'll make sure to place this number in quotes so Power Automate interprets it as a string and not as an integer. If we leave this value as an integer, Power Automate will give us an error because it thinks we're dealing with strings. Finally, in the true branch of our condition, we'll add in our Microsoft Teams action so we can ping a member of our team with the expense value for the year 2022. We'll use the post message in chat or channel action for this purpose. And we'll choose the option to post our message as a flowbot within the flowbot chat window. After we pick our recipient, which will just be ourselves in this case, we'll create a message that gives our recipient data for the year 2022 in our spreadsheet. Once we're all done here, we'll save our flow and run a test. When our flow finishes running, we'll notice that the condition in our apply to each control skipped over all but one string from our Excel to text conversion. As we might be able to guess, that string contains the year 2022, and we can find the expense value right alongside 2022 posted in our workflow chat in Teams. Of course, we don't need to use our text data in Teams like we've shown here. It's just one example of how we can leverage Excel data once we've converted it to text and itemized each row with our text splitting action. And with that, we've reached the end of this video. If you have any questions for us about using Cloudmersive APIs in Power Automate, please do not hesitate to reach out to a member of our team.